Say what? A second Pimpy video in one night. Okay, look it real quick, you guys. This won't take long. There's a lot of you guys who are new subscribers or new followers. So I keep getting asked the same question over and over, and I thought, instead of just constantly answering that question, I'll just do another quick video explaining to you where I came up with the 134 rate. It wasn't me. I keep telling you, it's part of a feasible study that was done, but we'll get into that. For those of you who don't know, you can join our Facebook group. It's called Pimpy's Investment Chat. It's the same name as the YouTube channel. I'll leave a link in the description. I invite all of you to come there. There's all kinds of great news in here regarding the Iraqi dinar and the Vietnam dong, along with cryptocurrencies and other investments, gold and silver, you name it. This people in here are really good, and they share a lot of information. So I encourage you to come here. It's free 99. Okay, so let's get into what I was talking about. People keep asking me, where did you get this 134 rate? I'm thinking it's 320. I'm thinking it's 380 plus 20% of inflation. No. Okay, look, here's what I'm talking about, the sweet spot. From the Ministry of Planning, Baghdad. It's a little bit older article, but I'm going to show you what they're talking about in here and when I'm talking about the sweet spot. So let's just go over this. It's only a couple of pages here, so to speak. So the exchange rate of foreign currency in economical feasible studies, okay? Below are the central controls related to the exchange rate of the foreign currency to convert the project input and outputs from foreign currency to its equivalent in the local currency. The foreign exchange is what they're talking about. And that is by calculating the net discounted present value, standard, and the internal return on investment in economical analysis that governs the investment projects that cost exceed $1 million. Now, investment projects, this got me thinking when I read that. Remember the China deal? They're swapping oil for projects. And then they are sending them X amount of oil every day. And in exchange, these people come and do some work in Iraq for free. So that's very interesting. Anyways, estimate the shadow price of foreign currency. The shadow price, okay? It is necessary to put central controls to amend the official exchange rate to reflect the shadow price of the foreign currency, and that is considered one of the necessary requirements to implement the net discounted present value standard and the internal return rate of investment in economical calculations stated in the instructions in paragraph 9. Now, I know most of you people are like me. Sometimes when I hear news like this, you don't actually hear the words, you just hear Charlie Brown's teacher. I'm really aging myself because I don't think Charlie Brown's even around anymore. I don't know if he is or not. Anyways, it goes on to talk about the inputs and the outputs. So the central controls for adjusting market prices distinguish in group of outputs and inputs trade internationally, where the project's production or usage of them is reflected on the abundance of foreign currency in the economy, and thus project outputs and inputs use of such are considered purely foreign currency outputs and inputs. Here's the thing. There's this misunderstanding. The auctions that are held, the currency auctions in Iraq, people keep thinking they're selling dinar. I made that same mistake. They're not selling Iraqi dinar. They are selling foreign currency. Bad Iraq. Bad Iraq. No, we need them to increase their foreign reserves. That adds more value to the dinar. We really need the currency auctions to stop in Iraq, okay? Anyways, let me get over here to the second page real quick. All right, let's enlarge it just a little bit. And I don't know if we want to go through all this mumbo jumbo, but I'll kind of put it right here. You can kind of pause it and read it yourself because it keeps talking about the inputs and outputs and how they're doing their calculations and how they plan to implement certain types of controls to make sure that the rate is within a certain range of the other rate. All right, so that's important to know. I've talked about this many times in other ones. Oh, what is this? Oh, I could tell you guys jumped ahead. All right, so here we go. Justification for exchange rate adjustments. All right, so watch what these people say because it's very interesting. There are a number of important and powerful arguments which support the view that the official rate reduces the real value of foreign currency for purposes of calculating the economical national profitability for investment projects and hence for the purpose of investment planning. It is demonstrated in this context for calling for assessing the dinar less than the 3.208, the $3.20 rate. There you see it. That is the, what did they say? It's the official rate. The official exchange rate. See that? The official exchange rate. So see, even these people still consider the $3.20 rate the official exchange rate. But they're going to make an argument in here, and I agree with this one. I know you guys don't like to hear that. But I agree, and I know what they're trying to do, okay? So look, you got to think about what they're saying here. And they're saying for the purpose of investing in projects and hence the purpose of investment and planning, there has to be something lower than that rate. That rate is too high. What ends up happening, if, remember I said this a million times, if the rate is too high in country, then people are more likely to buy stuff that's being imported into the country. Do you see what I'm saying? Versus trying to rebuild what's there. In other words, it's cheaper for people to buy imports than it is to coming into the country than it is to just buy stuff that's manufactured there. And this goes along with any projects, whether you're paying people wages, the cost of materials, importing, exporting supplies, all this types of stuff. That rate is really, really high. All right, so it goes on. We'll keep going. The justification to call for the use of an exchange rate that is lower than the official exchange rate are, let me just repeat that again. The justification to call for the use of an exchange rate that is lower than the, what's this say here? Come on, say it together. Ready? Say it with me. Official exchange rate. One more time. Official exchange rate. That's right. What is the official exchange rate? $3.20. This is what the government of Iraq is constantly pushing for. They want their damn rate back, man. They want their rate back. They jump up and down about it. But these people are going to make the Ministry of Planning is going to make a good case for why. The use of an exchange rate that is lower than the official rate is the appropriate action at the investment planning level to translate the country's economical strategy aiming at stimulating central investments in the sector that encourages the development of non-oil exports. Remember I was saying, look, Iraq has got to get out of the damn habit of just relying on oil. You know what I mean? Like a bulk of their money comes from money generated from oil. The problem is if something happens, any kind of major event that interrupts their oil, supplies or oil output, it screws over everything. They have to find other ways, other non-oil developments to generate incomes, as well as sectors that encourage the expansion of domestic production based in order to reduce imports and compensate it with local commodities. Reduce imports. The reason why they're importing is because it's cheaper. This rate, they need it cheaper. Okay. And compensate it with local commodities like what? Like oil. China's doing that, all right? This helps to reduce reliance on foreign exchange earnings from crude oil exports and increases the share of non-oil sector in a local production. I've said this till I'm blue in the face. I know a lot of you guys are new to my channel. I keep encouraging you guys to go back and look at my older videos because there's a lot of good information. But again, I just wanted to kind of go over this. We went over this before. So we know that the official rate, exchange rate, is 320. Okay, so the application of the amended exchange rate on project inputs will assist in directing investments away from aggregated sectors depending on imported inputs and the preference of those sectors. They rely on the local product. So in other words, if the rate is lower, then it's feasible for them to buy a local. But if the rate's too high and a costs too much for supplies there, then people are more likely to spend their money importing things. So another country is going to benefit from the money. Do you see what I'm saying? So if the rate's too high, even if there are outside investors in there bringing businesses there, it's going to be cheaper for them to buy supplies and import them into the country. They don't want that. Iraq needs to develop everything. So one of the things you could do is just lower the rate so that then you're competing. Iraq has a chance to compete with other countries as far as imports, exports are concerned, especially locally. The use of the amendment, the use of the amended exchange rate helps to correct the balance in favor of the traded goods sectors compared to non-traded goods. All right, so this again, we're talking about stimulating the economy. The real exchange rate has declined rapidly since the early 70s through rapid rise of level of prices of local cost, which led by the steadiness of the official exchange rate to change in prices and actual local rate costs that gave an advantage for imported goods at the expense of locally produced goods, meaning that it led to deterioration of competitiveness of alternative replacement goods and exports commodities. Do you see what they're saying here? So that high of a rate really hurt them. It really hurt them. And so what happened was people found that it was cheaper to import than it was to buy locally there. And by doing so, it hurts the strength of the dinar. Okay. It also hurts their economy. All right. The action shows that the official exchange rate overestimates the value of the dinar compared to, let me enlarge this here, compared to foreign currency, and from promoting goods, substituting imports and export commodities, point of view of, that doesn't make no damn sense, but you get the point. Again, they need to have a sweet spot. In order for the value and the strength of the dinar to increase, they need to start off at a sweet spot. We see the official rate is 320. All right, let's keep going. And in support to this view, it is in this state's utilization and in broad approach to the customs and quantitative protection policy, especially for consumer goods. Damn, that was a lot of words. As well as export subsidies that exports have through an amended export exchange rate. I'm not repeating that. So here it is. Estimate the amended exchange rate of the Iraqi dinar to be used in technical and economical feasible study for the rate. $1 in, I said 34, my bad. $1.13 per dinar. $1.13. This price should be approved for 3 years. This is where I get the 3 years from. So you see, they're going to come out here and they're going to, we know the rate is 320. They know the rate is 320, but their country is in tatters. It needs reconstruction. They have nothing. They're literally starting from scratch. And although some people could jump up and down and say the rate is worth 320, these people are saying, no, we need to come out with a lower rate. The lower rate is $1.13. Okay, I have seen that at $1.34 in other reports, but for the sake of this, it's $1.13. It makes sense to me. So if it's locked there for 3 years, this is what I was telling you guys. If they do come out with this rate of $1.34 and you can afford to do so, you might not want to exchange it all at once. That's just my opinion. You might want to save it and wait a couple of years and see if the rate goes up. Their goal is to gradually increase the rate over every few months, all right, until it gets back to where it was. So there you go. People have been asking me where I'm getting these rates from, and this is where I got it from. You know, I also seen this in a lot of CBI notes, but it wasn't $1.13. The actual rate it had increased as recently as in August of 2019. The last time I seen this little argument, the IMF and the CBIS were saying the rate should be $1.34. Okay, so anyways, I just thought I would share this because I've been asked this question a lot of times, and I instead of just answering one at a time, I just thought I would just do a quick video on this. Okay, anyways, y'all have a good day. Bye.